What do you say? Talk to me, goose. And I say, what it do? Y'all know who y'all in the building with. It's your boy Elo, and we back on another episode of Sip This Coffee. I told y'all we gonna stay consistent. That's the goal, staying consistent. So what it do? Sip this coffee with me, man. We had some championship games we ain't had time to talk about. We got some life things to talk about that we ain't had time to talk about. And what we gonna do is we gonna go straight into these topics that I came up with since the last episode. One of these topics is a follow-up from the last episode. On the last episode, we talked about foot soldiers to generals. Foot soldiers to generals. You can't become a general without being a foot soldier. So go check out the last episode, see what we elaborated on that one. But on this one right here, we're going to get to the first bulletin point. I ain't going to be lying to y'all no more like I did on the last episode. I'm going to tell you what a guy told me once in the barbershop. He told me, he said, while in the garden, make sure you stop and smell the flowers sometime. While in the garden, make sure you reach out and touch the petals on the roses sometimes, you know. And that made me stop and think that day. And what that man was basically saying, enjoy the moment. So while I'm on the screen with y'all, while I'm on this microphone with y'all, I'm gonna enjoy the moment. And my moment is kicking my 1-2 with y'all, talking about real life topics. My get down is talking sports, talking life. That's this whole show right here. I want to give motivation to the young men to continue to go forward in life, because sports relate to life in so many different ways. And for a lot of the young men, and I was included when I was young myself, sports is the way to change a lot of things that's going on in your life, especially in today's time when we got formats set up. And I'm not just talking about NIL deals. There's plenty formats set up for these young guys, these young ladies, to change their lifestyle, to change their family trajectory, to change the financial look of their families overall for the future. Some of these guys are going to be generational wealthy just by getting in shape, being athletes in today's time. In our time, we had to make it to major leagues to make any money. There wasn't allowed to make money in collegiate sports. One of the biggest guys I think that swung the NIL deals is from St. Lucie County. The YouTuber Destroyer. The guy he graduated from Port St. Lucie High School. I'm pretty sure if you on YouTube, you watching me on YouTube, you know who Destroyer is. But for the older guys who watch me that don't know who Destroyer is, I'm going to tell you. He graduated from Port St. Lucie High School. He was a kicker. He was a damn good kicker at that he ended up getting a scholarship to go to UCF. At UCF, his YouTube channel was getting so popular, so big, it was gaining so much attention to the point that the NCAA became aware of it, and they found out how much money he was making from his YouTube channel, using their facilities and all that stuff, to the point they gave the man an ultimatum that he had to choose between YouTubing and playing collegiate sports because he was making too much money. How they determined he was making too much money off his own name and work, we don't know. But that's how we end up where we are today. When a kid puts in the type of work that kid put in to build his channel himself, to get half of the world watching what he's doing every day at training camp, every day at football practice, every day in the dorm rooms, he was getting paid major money for this situation. And that's how I believe that was one of the major factors that got us to the day. We ain't gonna even talk about the Reggie Bushes, the Percy Harvins, the Matt Leinerts, the guys who was bringing major money to collegiate sports. We ain't even gonna speak on them. We're gonna speak on this kid that really sued NCAA. And I'm gonna say within the next 5 to 8 years, they had them bring in the NIL deals. Shout out to Destroying, shout out St. Lucie County, shout out Port St. Lucie High School, shout out to our little area, the Treasure Coast, who don't get the attention that it deserves, because we are always worldwide known in situations like this here, and don't nobody know. Long story short, don't nobody know that it was us. Yeah. So you got a person like me who gonna continue to bring out the truth and everything. So yeah. So that's why I say kids can change so much in today's time with things that's going on, with things that's available for them. This stuff all new. So last episode I told y'all the NIL deals in this transfer portal thing is changing the look of collegiate sports. I don't think there will be a spring portal too much after this, and it's already started. I seen the cornerback from Clemson leaving, one of their top corners. That's kind of crazy. Dabo did his thing this year. Even though we helped them get to a prominent spot this year, they shot themselves in the foot, and we helped them by laying down ourselves. You know, it is what it is. It's how it goes. Last year, the Florida Gators got knocked out in the first round in college basketball. This year, where they at? We'll get there. We'll get to talking about the sports and everything. So let's kick off the first bulletin. I went to a whole spiel giving y'all an update about this collegiate sports and stuff again, because I feel like there's a lot of people that's only thinking about this in a monetary situation in which the money is a part of the goal, but you won't get maximum dollars for what you're trying to get maximum dollars for until you really lose yourself into the situation. As in, if your child isn't overworking to become the top tier athlete, what are we talking about money for? These people ain't paying these kids to come on campus to do what Kirby Smart just had to do, completely embarrass them, to let them know that they're not even up to standards of what Georgia is. These kids are coming on campus because they got these checks. They're not even in shape when they get there. So you telling me the dog ain't involved in this no more? You going to play for Georgia, the Bulldogs. You got to have some dog in you. All right, yeah. So let's work on these kids, man. I don't want to hear them talking about, look, as soon as these guys, because we know what it all is going to come down to. It's a race situation, and you can look at it any way you want. Is a race situation. The NFL Combine is the closest thing to the slave trade that you can get when you're talking about analyzing a man from head to toe, analyzing his wingspan, analyzing everything, his abilities that he's able to do, so that some rich guy can buy him. That's what the NFL Combine is. But we ain't gonna go all the way into it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We'll get to it one day though. Yes, but when we're dealing with a situation like that, let's just say sports done took a turn that the slave, in this situation, the slaves have a chance to make some type of decisions in their decision of where they going and all that type of stuff. And in sports, we're slave to the game, man. So see it how you want to, take it how you want to, whatever. This is what's going on in today's time. But we're going to go on and kick off to the life stuff, because I get on this sports stuff and stay there. Let's talk about some real life stuff. Again, I gave y'all a little rundown just now of what we talked about last time, from foot soldier to general. But now let's go to this right here. Battle tested. Are you battle tested? Can you be battle tested? That's the whole thing. Can you be, excuse me one second. We're going to be professional. Sinuses, we live in South Florida. You know, the pollen knot allergies getting rolling. It is what it is, man. We just stay prepared for it. But check me out. This is what I wrote down. You can't become skilled at something till you are battle tested. So how are you complaining when things get tough? That's when the skill is tested. Do you know what you're doing enough to be battle tested? See, in the middle of a situation when you being tested, battle tested, to understand if you battle tested is, I say that I'm a barber, the barbershop loaded with all different styles of hair, and my back against the wall because I'm against time right now. I got an appointment coming in a little bit, but we just got loaded with walk-ins. I say I'm Earl the barber, right? Hold on. Show my dog real quick. I be in shot just like that. I say I'm Earl the barber, right? Can't say that until I've been battle tested on a Saturday when everybody in the shop is loaded up here in the front. And I got appointments coming in. But we got to clear these people out. Battle tested is me getting in there with no attitude, me getting in there with the same type of oomph. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it with the same type of the energy. Everything needs to be solid, the same. And I handle all these clients and still make it to my client without wavering in no type of shape. For a barber, that's battle tested. Let me just go to think of some coaching sports. Has your team been down and you coach them back up? It's many situations. Whatever field you in, have you been on the losing side of the situation and found your way back to the winning side of the situation? Because Most people don't become battle tested because when it comes to the losing end of it, that's where they stop at. That's where they quit at. That's where they cry. That's where they complain. That's where they do everything under the sun but continues to go. That's it. Are you battle tested? Have you been battle tested in what you say you are doing? Or have you been battle tested in these situations and you understand this is what I'm here for, this is what I'm doing, and I ain't going nowhere because this is what I signed up for. That's the result of being battle tested. When you realize I ain't stopping no matter what's going on. I'm going to continue to go. I'm going to continue to grow in this situation. Hey, name a field. Name a field of career field. Name a sporting field. Name any type of field that you won't be battle tested in and have to continuously to go. Man, nurses in the hospital, they battle test and come late night on shift, almost time to go home, and the one client that they don't want to deal with is calling them. That lets you know if you really like them checks coming in. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways to be battle tested. Have you been battle tested? And did you complain in the middle of it? It goes back to the last question on the last episode. Is your cup half full or half empty? If every time something happened, do you automatically shut down and go into a negative state, or do you put your Superman cape on and understand I got to figure this out? That's the question today for I Sip This Coffee viewers. Are you battle tested? Are you willing to keep on pushing through the push? Because the push is when something is either pushing against you and you push back. That's the push. That's the push, bro. Like, what we doing? How we doing? Where we going at? Like I said, man, we ain't gonna keep y'all too long today, but I do got this other one in it. And when I talk about this one here, it's like this here. Everybody got to search peace either way it go. You feel me? Everybody got to search peace either way it go. Because no matter what's going on in your life, how it's going on in your life, in the middle of you being battle tested, you still got to find your peace. So with that said, listen at this. Listen at this bulletin I wrote down. Listen at this bulletin. I'm working on being more present outside my needed isolation, but controlling my inner peace. I'm working on being more present outside my needed isolation. So I needed my time to myself. You know, I need this time when I'm in here reading my Bible, in here reading the Quran, when I'm in here reading these self-development books, listening to Audible on self-development books like Jason Wilson, them books like the book I got right now, Will Packer, Who Better Than You? The Art of Healthy Arrogance and Dreaming Big. You know, I'm reading stuff like that there. When I'm in those moments where I'm studying to make my inside better, to make my personality a better personality, make me a better person for the community, when I'm doing those things, I need to be isolated. But once I gain the rewards from the isolation, I still need to be able to go out into the community and not show off what I've learned and gained, but be present. But I'm working on being present outside my needed isolation, but controlling my inner peace. So you need your isolation to go around other people. That might sound a little crazy to you, but it's the truth. You need your personal isolation for you to go around groups of people. You can't be around 20 people 24/7 and never have time for yourself. Why? You're going to become them other people. You don't even know your own thoughts anymore. You don't even know your own emotions and feelings anymore. You get in groups start moving. That's why the gang culture is so rapidly spread, because most people don't think for themselves. I'm going to say this here. I'm going to leave the gang culture thing going. Most gang beef is resonated from a situation of love, romance. This guy was messing with that guy's old lady, and that guy over there is from the other side of town, and this guy here from this side of town. So now we done ended up in a war behind this guy old lady. The gang culture. I'm trying to take care of my family and everything. I ain't go to the club last night, but the gang went to the club last night and they got into it. So today I got to forego all my family stuff and go with the gang to handle what they handled last night when I wasn't even there. All right, forget that. That's the gang mentality. When you're around the gang, when you're around 100 people, and I ain't just talking about you ripping sets for a gang. You got the Bad Girls Club. You got all kind of stuff that ended up in gang mentality culture. You got the all kind of stuff. The cheerleading clubs, the basketball team can end up being gang culture. Is what I'm saying. I ain't saying that you're a part of a gang culture. And outside of the gang culture, you have to find yourself, your inner peace, your isolation. So outside of my isolation, when I'm out amongst the people, when I'm out 20, 15, 10 people, how do you maintain your inner peace? To me, it all come down to what you studying and how you studying. You know what I'm saying? Understanding who you are keep you from being a part of the crowd 24/7. I don't think we can find another way to say that. Understanding who you are will keep you outside of the crowd. Yeah. Ain't no other way to look at that, man. So what we doing? We working on self 24/7. We working on the things that we need to do for us, because it's always an inside job. It's nobody ever on the outside. Every time you point the finger, I'm going back there. See this one? See this one? See this one? Is that me? Every time you point that finger, you got them fingers pointing at you. So I don't ever put nobody in the position that I need to answer for. You get what I'm saying? I don't put nobody else in the position where I need to put my name in. Why this wasn't done? Elo. Why that happened? Elo. I'm putting me in the position before I be like, oh, he didn't, she didn't, he came over here. I ain't explaining nothing about nobody else, because they got to explain their own decision making, their own actions. I'm going to explain mine every single time. And most people can't explain their actions. Most people making moves in the game mentality thoughts process, so therefore they only doing what they see the other person do. They only seeing what the big homie did. They only doing what, ain't too many people making real decisions of their own out here. We see that through the internet. We see that through simple things of just go through the comment section on a post on social media. You will see that most people don't have their own thoughts. Most people won't formulate their own decision until they go to the comment section. And then they'll make a comment identical to the one that's already got all the most popular views. That's another thing that's going on. Everybody want to be famous, bro. I don't want to be famous. I know I'm on this TV. I'm on this computer screen and I'm talking to y'all doing a podcast, and I'm saying I don't want to be famous. I don't. What am I doing on this screen then? I'm on this screen to give knowledge and information to the next youngster, help him understand that he don't want to be famous or she don't want to be famous. If it happened, it happened. You still got to understand what I just told you. I just told you. And even when you amongst the world, you must find your inner peace in your isolation. So therefore, if you do become famous, make sure that you make time for yourself. Make sure you make time for your family. Make sure you make time for your growth. Because this world don't care about it. This world don't care. I cut a guy the other day, yesterday actually, I cut this guy at the barbershop. Shout out to Legit Cuts Barbershop. Y'all swing through, holler at us all the time. We got a team fully ready to go. Whenever you need your haircut, beard, shave, whatever. We take care of all of that, man. Special cuts, regular cuts, everyday haircut, work cuts, whatever you got, celebrity cuts, we do it all. But I was cutting this gentleman the other day, and I said, how you doing today? He said, I'm doing good enough to let you know that even if I was doing bad, I wouldn't tell you because nobody cares anyways. Whew. Preach your preach then, big dog. Talk your talk then, brother. Dang, I keep it to myself. Why? They don't care no way. Half of the world don't care. The other half just happy as you. And the other thing is, everybody want the worst story. Everybody, man, again, no matter what we going through, we're going to evaluate it and isolate it and handle it. I ain't got no big words for it. We're going to isolate the situation, get an understanding of what's going on, and we're going to come up with a game plan to forego this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't walk around holding on to stuff 24/7, because why? You're going to build up a whole bunch of anger in the inside of you for no reason. All right, man, I done kicked my personal talk with y'all. They're my bulletins I had this week. I'm going to go to it right now. I had a topic sent to me and gave it to me about the Don Staley. We're going to go to sports now. Don Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks, they lost their game to UConn. Don Staley was clearly frustrated. They got the clips everywhere. You can look it up on YouTube. You can look it up on whatever social media accounts, all that good stuff. Don Staley was clearly frustrated. But let me say this. She was frustrated, rightfully so, but I still say kind of not. I say kind of not because she lost to the GOAT. She lost to the women's college basketball GOAT, Coach Gino. Coach Gino been coaching at UConn for countless years. Coach Gino put women's college sports on the map, bro. In our time. I don't care. I don't even know. The dude might have 6 national championships. What sport do one coach in collegiate sports? What sport do one coach got 6 national championships and not considered the GOAT? We talking Nick Saban style stuff. So, Dunn, I understand your frustration. I seen you was calling stuff. The girls looked like they was deers in headlights with a 4x4 pulling up on them. You know? I understand the frustration, but I do understand this here. You got a championship under your belt, Dunn. Gino can't be at this too much longer. As of right now, Gino is just the only thing in your way from you becoming a dynasty. And I think he know that. I think he knows that if he takes his foot off the gas right now coaching, you eventually will catch up and take over his wins percentage at South Carolina. Shout out to Coach Gino for making this a longer run than it should be. Done, 100% behind you. We know that you're going to rebuild that roster, get it back going, because to be honest with you, when you look at UConn's roster with that young lady Paige on it, Paige done took 3 schools to the playoffs. She just didn't win in that championship at UConn this year. The last couple of years, this girl's been in the playoffs with 3 different types of schools. That wasn't UConn. So therefore, that lets me know her playing ability is a little bit different. To me, she's due more respect than Caitlin Clark. To take 3 different schools, major schools at that, they playing the cream of the crop, not, all season playing these little up west, talking about western states. Yeah. She's playing everybody. She's played everybody. So, Paige, it was your time. Shout out to you and Coach Gino and the girls. Paige, I had to come on here and say this here. Major love to you for showing love to Gigi Bryant. Long live the Bryants. Long live every young lady that was on that plane, on that helicopter that day, because her T-shirt that night made me realize something. The other night, we could have watched Gigi Bryant play for a national championship with Kobe sitting in the stands had not the situation went the way that it went. That was deep for me. That was deep for me, man. So major love to Vanessa Bryant. Major love to their other kids. Major love to their whole family, man, because I know that's a tough one to watch when you know you had the one. You had that child that would have been on that stage and she passes away. And with her great dad, you know what I'm saying? That whole little situation was deep. To see her with that shirt, I ain't gonna lie to you, it made me kind of emotional. There's a lot of things going on in life right now around me that my emotions hot either way it goes. So therefore, and I'm getting older. Yeah, y'all talking about, I ain't no 21-year-old little savage. I'm 36, out here with kids. My emotions a little high. I might drop a tear on you watching a Disney movie. That's just real life. You feel me? I'm talking about grown man stuff. And that's why I'm on here. That's why I'm on here, to let y'all understand that it's transitions to life. When we was young, we did and said, went through just about everything that you can do as a youngster. And I ain't over-exaggerating or leaving nothing out. You know what I'm saying? But as a grown man, we grown men that's taking care of our families, taking care of these households and things of such. So that's why I felt like it was a need for me to get the Sip This Coffee podcast back up, because on this internet, you got grown men out here selling women out. Brother, let me tell you something. Now I'm just kicking the bobo with you. And I ain't finna lean over to get my nose right. I'm gonna do it right here. You feel me? Y'all on the Sip This Coffee show with your boy Earl D. Elo. You feel me? And this how we gonna kick it. This young lady here is off the chain. But basically like this here. We back. We had to pause. Did I know that I could pause this and come back? No, I did not. We had a situation. We got a situation on the hand. We're going to keep moving the show along so we can get it going. You feel me? Good morning to y'all. Get up, sip you some coffee, put a smile on your face so you can put a smile on somebody else's face, and we're going to keep the show rolling. Last night, Let's talk about last night. Last night. And whatever I was just saying before I had to pause this show, I come back on social media and follow up with that thought. Y'all just stay with your boy. Y'all know how we rocking, how we bringing this thing together. Yeah, just keep rocking with me. Last night, the Florida Gators won the national championship for men's basketball. Last night, the Florida Gators played a hell of a game. Let's go here real quick. Shout out to the Florida Gators. I'm a University of Miami fan, but I have always rooted for the Gators basketball team because University of Miami has never had a basketball team. So let's go all the way there. Shout out to Shands Hospital in Gainesville, Florida. 2006 time, my mom gave her kidney to my cousin at Shands Hospital. It was a beautiful process. The procedure went well, everything. We wake up the next morning after the procedure, walk down to the lobby. Who's there? Corey Brewer, Napier, what's his name? Al Horford, the point guard. Them guys is in the lobby or down there at Shands Hospital. This is 2006, so before they won the championship. And we was able to meet these guys, talk with these guys, and later on they won the national championship. I followed Corey Brewer for a long time. That was my favorite player on that team. Jakim Noor. I was a fan of all those guys, so it was a pleasure to meet them at a young age. So I've always rooted for Florida in a sense. My pops, he's a Florida Gators fan, football, basketball, baseball, everything. I don't even know if he understands baseball, but he liked the Gators on everything. So shout out to the Gators, man. Winning that national championship. For one, not only did you do that for your school, but you did that for the state. Y'all went against Texas, Houston. And we know if Houston would have won that game, they would have been talking about how much better Texas is than Florida. So therefore, I'm glad y'all did that. Because next year, the University of Miami collegiate team will be there. We spinning the bread, man. Miami is spinning the bread for all collegiate sports. So it is what it is. Let's talk about Duke. Let's talk about Duke laying the egg. Duke was up 14 points in the fourth quarter. Let Houston run them down, knock them off, get to the championship. Let's talk about Duke. Let's talk about being overhyped, man. That dude, I ain't saying that he ain't no baller. I ain't saying they not ballers. What I'm saying is the way that the whole world wrote off the rest of these teams and just went automatically, Cooper Flag gonna win the championship. Let's just talk about how the Gators had something to say about that. Let's talk about how Florida had something to say about y'all trying to knock Florida or North Carolina teams up here, University of Duke. That's up there in Carolina somewhere. And y'all talking about how they going. Let me just say this here. We back. We back to my childhood now. We back to all the Florida schools being the prominent schools at all sports. From football to basketball, baseball, to all of it. Ball is here in Florida, man. And that's where we're going to leave it off at today. If you ain't in Florida, you ain't rocking with the Florida teams, you ain't in Florida, you ain't putting in that work with the Florida athletes, you know what it is, man. Florida on top of everything. So with that being said, I'm going to tell y'all how I always tell y'all like this here on this show. Hey, put a smile on your face so you can put a smile on somebody else's face. Because that positive stuff going to spread faster than that negative stuff if everybody get on the positive stuff. But if everybody's still on that negative stuff, it'll keep winning. It'll keep winning. Y'all been tuned in with your boy Elo. But today is Tuesday, man. We're going to get the day going. We'll be back by the end of the week. I'm going to clip this thing up, send it through to y'all. Shout out to everybody who been, in tune with your boy on the show, writing me, telling me what you heard and saw. Y'all can leave comments on here, like, subscribe, share, all of the good stuff. You know the whole works and, the whole production team that we working with over here. It's your boy. The whole production team right now is me, but we work until we get somewhere else with it, man. I'm just going to tell you like this here, man. It's still the beginning of the week, so don't be out here being no baby back biatch. Keep putting in that work, keep staying focused, and that's how we going to leave it, man. One love, two love to everybody out there. Peace.